Hi guys, I'm late. I was working. How are you guys? Be paying attention to the comments today, guys. I was gonna play my intro for you guys real quick.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm the Housewife Historian, and we are here to talk the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I'm going to be talking a little bit in code today because if you watch my channel and you watch my live, yes.
Is the plane going down? Are we gonna die? Why are you saying I'm sorry?
Hi guys, welcome back to my new YouTube channel, Housewives 411. Today we're going to be recapping what we're seeing in the headlines with the Housewives today for Friday, October 20th, 2023. And I will take some Q&As as well in the comments if anyone has any questions or things that they need to get caught up on. Hi Angel Eyes, how are you? This is a great time to ask any questions that you have. I did see that Kim D and Dana Wilkie, I think, just dropped like a video yesterday or today. I didn't get a chance to listen to it all, but I know that there's a little bit of mention of the Margret Joseph situation. And I just wanted to applaud Kim D for giving an accurate account of what I had told her. And so I respect that and appreciate that a lot. Dana and I have worked together, professionally on podcasting since 2020. Actually, she had me on her podcast a long time ago, and I've always, respected her for getting her start in the gossip community, and she's doing a great job. And now they're kind of collabing together, which I think is really great, and people really seem to be appreciating it. But I want to talk a little bit about what was said between me and Kim, sort of relaying it to Margret. I didn't know that her and Margret, I don't know, were they ever on bad terms? I'm not sure if they were on good terms, bad terms. Does anyone know for sure what they were? Regardless, after she had DM'd me, Margret had DM'd me, I spoke with Kim D. And, Kim and I have always, we've always chatted professionally, and just like anyone else in the community, I have a lot of love and respect for Kim. And when there was a lot going on, on the internet and stuff, when everything happened originally, I, always said I liked Kim. She's old school. We have to appreciate her regardless, because she's given us great TV and tea and such. So, but anyways, we had corresponded about the Margret thing because I guess Margret she saw something online or whatever. But here was the thing, is that whenever Melissa had doxed me when I came out with the videos on Envy and about the when they were charging, the items were for Amazon or other places, and the prices, were a big markup, if you will. And I got a cease and desist over that video for Envy, and Kim and I spoke, and I really wasn't I didn't really know what avenue I should take. And David's obviously an attorney, so he was somebody that I appreciated speaking with as well, and just getting their opinion. And Kim basically said, you just don't go after people's businesses. Obviously, you don't want to be someone that does that. And so I took the video down, and I've always been respectful of people's, businesses, thus moving forward, right? Trey Fab has no problem with anything that she posts or saying that, it's her, because we know that that's who Margret is accusing me of being, and she knows it. And Trey Fab, she's happy to, I think, clear it up with Margret, but they target me because they can get to me, whereas she's in another, time zone, country, continent. So it's they can't really affect her, but they affect me because I was recently just demonetized on YouTube, which is why I'm starting a new channel. So it's now you guys are messing with my money too. Just because it doesn't seem like a lot of money to you doesn't mean that it's not an income to me. So, checkmate. I don't know. I don't know what the solution is with these people, but I'm just paying the price for them all. I don't know. Anyways, I just wanted to say that I appreciated that Kim relayed my statements correctly, because that is exactly what I told her. And yeah, so I think that Dana was trying to give a little bit of a accurate description when she was saying, like, was this DM necessary? Like, did it need to say that there was going to be a warrant issue? Like, does this seem like a warranted DM for somebody coming after your business? It seems like that's like Margret's like thing. Oh, they're coming after my business, or Luia's coming after my business. She's nobody. I don't know. I've posted like her and her stuff sometimes, so it like kind of gives her a little bit of press. But I know that she did come out with some new brushes for her Juicy Couture line too. So it's like, but are you losing out though? I'm so confused. Anyways, guys, you can leave your question if you have any questions about the situation about Margret and the direct messages, or you read about it in Reality Blurb. I got a lot of DMs from people that were like, what is going on? We don't understand. And I probably should just do a video separately explaining the situation, so that anyone that you guys are up to speed, you're not bored hearing it. But if you guys don't know, all RHONJ facts and myself are in Reality Blurb of these direct messages and cease and desist that Margret Josephs had sent me through my direct messages 5 days before Teresa's event. I didn't even know it was in my direct messages, because I had like taken a break from Instagram and the internet for a couple of days. So yeah, crazy. But if you have any questions, you can put it in the comments for sure. David Yontov, also shout out to him. He he was like, I don't know what to say. Like, I just don't even know what to say, because here's the thing, like, anyone in the blogger community, or anyone really that's part of the Bravo online community, you guys know that Trey Fab's a separate person, entity, human being, that it's not me running all of these, this account. That's completely bogus and false. And like I said, anyone that is online or on Instagram and is part of the Bravo community online, they know that Trey Fab, she's her own girl, her own person. She has no problem saying that. And she's like, bring it on, granny. There's no solution, unfortunately. Let's start this comment. Why are we not starting? Oh, there you are. There's no solution. Unfortunately, you're an easy target, unlike some of the other bloggers. They seem to be taking it out on you. These people are ruthless and don't care. I know. It's like wild. But I appreciated the fact that, number one, David Yontov gave a like fair synopsis of the situation. Like, he didn't come in like one-sided, and he didn't come in demeaning, like trying to like level up with who's a bigger blogger, who has a bigger following, who's a like, he knows that me and Trey Fab are not the same person, right? And so does Dana and Kim. They've dealt with, I don't know about Dana with Trey Fab, but I'm assuming that they've probably dealt with each other at some point or time, like I said, in the community of Bravo people. Sorry, I got lost for a second. I also wanted to thank Lisa, my NYC gal out, for this, baby. Make sure you guys check out her podcast. Her account is NYC Gal Out. We're going to be reviewing the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills every Thursday. I also have a special coming for you guys. I've been holding on to some information and some pictures about Erica and Tom Girardi for like almost, 8 months to 12 months. I'm going to have Mary on my channel. She is like this crime expert. You guys are really, really going to like her. And we're going to break down Tom and Erica and where we are currently with his, because if you guys don't know, he was charged criminally. And yeah, so I want to break that down to you guys in a whole video. And I have like pictures and stuff from inside their Pasadena mansion that people haven't seen. And I think since Erica's coming back on the show and she's coming back so slender, and people are really commenting about her looks, and people are really commenting about their confessional. They did like a promo. Did you guys see the promo for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? Where they're like talking with a little mic and they're kind of pushing it around, and Erica's makeup is very heavy. They sort of have a pink background or a filter. It's not doing them any favors at all. We're also getting a blind item about a realtor, and the blind item literally said a realtor, but not Mauricio Yermansky, is about to go bankrupt. JoJo says, not a fan of Dana Wilkie. Like, I completely understand. We can't all, love each other. We can't all have this, be huge fans of the same people. Like, that wouldn't, be fun, right? We love bloggers and listening to other people because of their personalities or their commentary or their tea or whatever it is. And that's great as long as we're just respectful to each other. That's all we have to be, is respectful. Don't be passive. Don't be aggressive. Don't be passive aggressive. Just be respectful. We all know what respect is, right? Don't we? I don't know. I'm like, have a blessed day. God bless you. Hallelujah. Oh, go F myself. Okay. You have a blessed day, ma'am. Anyways, the blind item, I'm trying to find it for you exactly, but the blind item says it's not Mauricio, but I think it's Mauricio. And I have to tell you guys why, because I just spoke a couple of days ago in my Real Housewives updates in 15 minutes or less, about Mauricio and Kyle and how they have doubled their net worth every single year for the last decade, at least 12 years in a row. How does that happen? Does anyone know where that happens at? Because that cannot be just because she was on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and his realtor company, because then she would be the only housewife in all of Beverly, all of the franchises to double her net worth every single year since being on the show. That seems a little crazy to me. If you guys want an honest opinion, I always thought that the agency, all the different branches they had one in Mexico, I think, even like, I don't know. I thought the same thing. Something is sketchy here. He worked under Rick Hilton and Highland, right? And they are a big realtor company, but they don't have like offices all over the country and the world. Like, you're international. I don't know. It just seemed a little sketch to me. That's just my opinion. A little sketchy. And the blind item, and people are saying that it's either the brothers from Selling Sunset, or that it's Josh Flagg from $1 Million Listing. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Josh Flagg. I've always kind of appreciated his content. He hangs out with Candy Spelling, aka Tori Spelling's mom. They take like lavish vacations together. Meanwhile, Tori and the children are at the RV park. Allegedly, he had offered his mansion to Tori and the children, but she said no. And there were also a blind item that Candy had offered money to Tori, but that really she was staying at the RV park with her kids because she has mold in her house and she's getting divorced, and she was doing it for media. So I'm not really sure about that. Jules, I'm so sorry to hear that you're hurting today. It's the rain. I'm sure it is the rain. Do you have inflammation? And do you take anything for your inflammation, Jules? Green tea is a really great inflammatory that you could drink. I'm so sorry. I know that chronic pain is hard because that's what my mom had. She had like rheumatoid arthritis and osteoporosis and fibromyalgia and all those sorts of things. So I didn't hear David or Kim. I think that David and Kim are like on good terms now, like professionally. From my perspective, it seems that they are on good terms professionally. Kim promoted her fashion show, and she reminded everyone that she was the first one to have a fashion show, right? So people are trying to say that she's copying off Melissa. That could never be, because Kim D did put like Envy fashion show on the map. She also talked about if you guys go back, I mean, I'm telling you guys, I have been saying for years, go back and watch the earlier seasons. If you watch any season, watch the season where they have the huge fight at the Envy fashion show. It was huge. There were actual criminal charges filed, and Jacqueline Laredo was actually, I think she was charged and had to go to court. She was hitting the guy in the head with her high heel, okay? They were gangster, okay? Gangsters up in New Jersey. Seriously. And the guy was never right, really, after that. They kind of sabotaged his whole life because they have a small community. I mean, Tom's River is not very big. And I feel like, again, Melissa sort of has like a big family between her sisters and the cousins who they treat like brothers and sisters, and their spouses and their children and their accounts and their nail people and their hair people and their employees. Like there's a lot of them, and they can find a community target, right? And they can make it hard on someone that is not on their team. And I think that's what we kind of seen happen. I know that there was a woman that David did interview that allegedly worked with Melissa at this Lookers or Lakers strip club. I'm going to be mindful what I say here, but Kim, I think, said that I don't know if she was on the interview, or you guys will have to go back and listen because I don't want to give their whole show away anyways, but somehow she was affiliated with this interview, but not so much when it aired, I guess, which I didn't get a chance to see the interview. And I don't know. I guess the woman was like a manager there, and she had managed there for several years. Like, Melissa was friends with her. We know Melissa didn't have a lot of friends, so you know what's funny? If you're from South Jersey, you're not a Jersey girl. You guys in your North and South Jersey is so crazy. I'm like, I don't know what part of Jersey I'm in, but if you guys tell me I'm safe here, that's great. I love that. Thank you. Yeah. So also people still commenting about the Shein photos and campaign that were done by Teresa's daughters. They did a campaign, the 4 daughters, promoting some different outfits from, it was a Shein campaign. It was a big deal. Gia Giudice is, she's up and coming. And there was some scrutiny on the campaign on behalf of people who were saying where Shein gets their products. And then other people were criticizing for it being like, I want to use the word, I guess, like provocative with the 14-year-old, but the 14-year-old wasn't pictured in some of the photos with like the actual like pajamas, but clothes and stuff she was. There was a photo that was retweeted by a account that I call Krusty Balls. Good God. God, I love someone like that. Anyways, she tweeted it and called the girls, it was like House of Horrors, but with, a W instead of an H. And so she posted a response because I guess her video got taken down and people were reporting it. I don't know where she had it, if she had it on Instagram or TikTok or Twitter. She had it all over. I'm not really sure where it was, but she like went into this whole explanation about how it didn't really affect her. And I'm not sure that people really cared if it affected her, but more so like it was super disrespectful. And I'm sure that nobody wants that floating around the internet for their children. And it's like, we protect all the other housewives' children except for Teresa's. Like, it's okay, I guess. Did you guys watch the 7-minute promo for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? Are you guys going to be watching Beverly Hills? I noticed that some people did pick up from Salt Lake City as well. We're like mid-season in Salt Lake City, and we're getting, I don't know what we're getting in Salt Lake City. Confused is how I feel. I think also that New Jersey is going to be wrapping up filming soon, which is like disappointing because I found this video of Danielle Staub from like a year ago, and she does it. I don't know if she does a full interview or if it's more of a cameo to someone. And she says, basically they ask her like, would you come back to the show? And she was like, before I never thought about coming back to the show, but given the circumstance between the 2 sister-in-laws, I would love to come back and earn my paycheck and tell the truth, since one housewife knows the truth and the other one's not saying anything, and neither is her husband. So in my opinion, I feel like Bravo, if this is going to be the last season of the Gorgas and they're like just wrapping up the storyline between Joe and Teresa and Melissa, they need Danielle to make an appearance to clear up. We've never seen Danielle and Melissa go head to head about what transpired. This is another way that Bravo has protected Melissa Gorga. They've never put her up against Danielle and let her really say like what happened. Because if you guys go back and remember, again, this is why I tell you guys to go back and watch older episodes. The reunion where Teresa like pushes Andy Cohen back into his chair, that is a reunion where Danielle Staub says, did you go visit your nephew in the hospital after he was born? And that is the moment that it clicked in Teresa's head that Danielle and Melissa had been in contact. That was her confirmation. She probably had suspected it. But at that moment, she knew that Danielle was saying that because Melissa had told her that. And that's why she got so angry, right? So I would love to hear from Danielle, and I would love to see a conversation take place with Joe and Melissa separated. Don't put them in the same room. I want them separated like you do in an interrogation, okay? Yes, Bravo. I hope you're listening. I hope somebody is taking notes. I tweeted this yesterday. I was like, chop, chop. Go get Danielle Staub. Get her right now. I need her right now. And I want to see her and Melissa talk about this. And then add Teresa to the mix. And let's find out what really happened. And I want to see Melissa scramble and see what sort of explanation. Because she's already said stuff that doesn't add up to a timeline. We all know that, right? We've seen quotes. We've seen we've seen different quotes where she's like, oh, we didn't want to do the show, and we were going to do the show, and Joe said no, and then we remembered that I had a career as a singer and how much it would help my career out, so we said yes, and we just thought we would outsmart the show, and it's just crazy. So I would really love to see Danielle. I think that, like, Danielle is a part of the story between Melissa and Teresa. She's the biggest, most important part of the story between Teresa because she's who got Melissa in. She was Melissa's in. Melissa was pregnant. Melissa was not trying to come on the show pregnant. She did not want to be fat on the show. She did not want to do that. So she started interacting with Danielle, getting an emotional relationship and an emotional bond started with Danielle. And she nurtured that bond throughout her pregnancy until she had the baby, right? She's feeding Danielle tea about what's going on in their family, their immediate family, right? Because Teresa's talking to Kathy and Melissa as if they don't talk to her castmates. So she's treating them like normal family, right? And so Danielle, obviously, like I said, they developed an emotional friendship, and Melissa is feeding her all the information that's going on behind the scenes, right? And so then Danielle goes to the reunion, she gets mad at Teresa, and she slips, right? And boom, we have the christening next year. So it's really, we all know that Melissa's timeline doesn't add up. And that's why I'd really like to, I would like to see Joe separated and Melissa and see what his response is to some of these questions. I think that they will blame one another, or either she will blame Joe and take the blame, and he'll take the fall. And if you guys notice, like, she doesn't care what's posted about him online. If it's her, ooh, boy, watch out. But if it's him, she's like, oh, it's fine. I'm just calling my husband a crook and trash. It's fine. The girl from Lookers said that Melissa, I think they said, like, she served shots in bikini or something like that. Like, she wasn't, I don't know. What is the definition of a, like, I don't know. I don't have any more to say on that subject because, I don't know. Basically, like, the girl said that Joe was like her knight in shining armor. I guess so. I don't It's crazy. It's so crazy to me. Also, guys, again, they're supposed to be wrapping up filming this month. I think there was a little bit of tea. Dana and Kim also talked about recently, I had heard, but I wasn't going to drop, and we're having a cash trip, I think, coming up. And then I think what they're going to do is probably have a Halloween party at Jennifer's house for the end of the year, the finale. I think they're going to host it at Jennifer's house. Her mansion is, like, done up so beautifully. She goes out really big for Halloween, I noticed. And so I'm thinking that she's probably going to throw a big ass Halloween party, and that will be the finale to the show this season. So we're not going to be getting Christmas. We're not going to be getting Thanksgiving. We're not going to be getting the holidays, right? We're literally going to be getting, like, the fall. We're going to be getting from August to October. That is not a long time to film, guys. That's not a long time to film. That's going to be, New Jersey has a way. Like, I don't know if it's their producers. I don't know if they're lazy. I don't know what it is. Their seasons are short. And they'll give us filler episodes too. Like there'll only be a 14 episode season, and like 4 or 5 of those are like filler episodes already. So it's like, I don't know what's going on in New Jersey with the producers. Like even their cast trips are bogus. Like last year they at least went to Ireland, but we never really see them take like super nice vacations or go anywhere. We know they always, we always get the Jersey Shore, which is great, but it feels a little bit repetitive at this point. It does. Camille Grimmer commented on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and I don't know if she or just under a post and was like, same old, boring, reused content. Like, I don't know what producers are doing. I can't even argue it, because it does feel like, did Dorito get robbed again, or is she still talking about the robbery from last year? I'm still trying to figure that out. The real Andy from Beverly Hills reported he actually read from an article or some, it was like her description or her storyline, and it stated that she had got robbed again. So I'm like, wait, she got robbed again? I'm so confused. Then I'm also seeing things online that shows Teddi Mellencamp is renting out. Do you guys remember the house that they moved into right when she got on the show? So before they got on the show, they lived across the street from the house that you actually saw on the show at the very beginning, like with the swimming pool along like the the edge. If you remember, Teddy's house was kind of like, I don't know, it was like weird because there was like a wall of the house, but the pool was on the other side, and it was like, it ran like the length of the house. And they're renting it out, I think, for like $35,000 a month. Yeah. I think they must be like getting into real estate a little bit, because she also rented a house in, I want to say like, I don't know, Beverly, I don't even know where it was for sure, but there was somebody shot and killed at it. Do you guys remember unalived? I'm sorry, they were unalived at the house. I think it was like in the Hollywood Hills, to be honest with you. And it was like a rapper, and he was robbed and unalived at the house, and it was Teddi Mellencamp and her husband that owned the house, because I kind of did a correlation between that robbery. Also, Kyle and Mauricio were allegedly robbed. Do you guys remember when Kyle was going around accusing this psychic who posted, Diane Keaton posted this psychic's hands because she had really long nails and rings, and Kyle became convinced that one of those rings was her mother's and that it was her stolen ring. So she reached out to Diana Keaton for the information on this psychic, because she swore that was her stolen dead mother's ring. And Teddi and her actually filmed a scene, allegedly, to show her like walking up and down like Hollywood Boulevard looking for this psychic, because she thought that was her stolen ring of her dead mother's, and they didn't put that into the show. And then there was a TikTok that came around from the granddaughter from the psychic, and she was like, you know what, Kyle, go get off somewhere, because my grandmother has been wearing this ring for 20 years. And she showed pictures of her grandmother's hands and a photo of her with the ring from like 1985, if you guys don't remember. There's also talk about Teddi returning next year, guys. I don't know what's happening. I haven't been listening to the Two T's in a Pod podcast, but I don't know. Do you guys rate Tamra's return to the Real Housewives of Orange County as a success? Has she been a success this year? I think Taylor has been more successful this year than she has. Also, how awkward that there was an interview done with Brynn from the Real Housewives of Orange County or New York, and they were asking her what she thought of Tamra telling Teddi to like, or of Tamra telling Andy to like F off or something. Like, what does she say? What are the other housewives going to say? Yeah, Tamra's a bully. We all hate her and wish he wouldn't have brought her back. I don't know. Like, it was just a weird question to me. But, yeah. So that's where we're at with everything. There's anything else to tell you guys? Miami is what I have to tell you guys. Miami is what I have to tell you guys. I cannot wait for Miami. I don't know why. I love Real Housewives of Miami. I stan Lisa. I'm standing her all season this year. So if y'all don't like her, I'm sorry. I love her, and I'm Team Lisa. Okay. Larsa be looking for a paycheck, y'all. I'm telling you. When she was with Scotty and she didn't have to work, she did not want to work. If you go back and watch the Real Housewives of Miami season 1, when she was on there, girl, she did not want to work. She didn't like the way the maid was like cooking her rice and shit. Like she don't want to work, but she has to work now because she's probably had, you know, a couple failed business attempts with like jewelry and stuff. I'm not trying to laugh. I'm just saying, like, I don't know why I did that, but yeah, so she's working and she's working for that paycheck, honey. No, I'm just joking. I just feel like Miami is a really feel good franchise because of the energy. We're gonna get Gertie this season. If you guys don't know, sadly, she was diagnosed with breast cancer and she's been fighting the cancer, and she's been documenting her whole journey. Like, she's giving it to us raw, and she's being vulnerable, and like, you cannot even like respect somebody more than what she's doing and being so strong about it. And it's like, we all have our own like journey in life and our own struggles and our own stories, and like, she is so strong for sharing hers, and she's shaved her head. She's embracing that as well, which I think is so huge for a lot of women, because I had a friend who, you know, she just lost her hair. Like, she was beautiful. She is, her hair was beautiful, but you know, sometimes things happen, you know, and to embrace it and to show other women like it's okay to you don't have to wear a wig. I don't know if you guys like know this, but wigs are like itchy. Like, they have like a netting, a lace, right? So it's different than extensions. You literally basically have to wrap your hair real tight in like a wig cap, and then you would put a wig over top of that, right? So when you're sweating, when you're hot, it's itching, it's not comfortable necessarily. So especially if you're in pain or you're recovering from your chemotherapy and you already don't feel well, the last thing that you probably want to do is put a wig on. And so, like, love that she's embracing that for other women. I think that the Real Housewives of Miami is going to be a great break for all of us to get back into the mix of just good old wholesome drama between the ladies. We have Dr. Nicole Martin. I met her. She was lovely. She's very tiny in person. But I rock with her. I think that her and her husband are solid. They sold their house to Jeff Bezos' mother. Yeah. So that's how rich they are. If that tells you anything. But she's a doctor. She works like anesthesia, which is, you know, pretty hard work. I think anyone working in the medical field knows that. So I'm sure it's difficult probably filming and working long hours. I don't know if she necessarily has to work, or she just works to keep her independence. Maybe she'll just get bigger on the show. She seems to be really growing. We'll have Lisa on the show talking, of course, about her situation with Lenny. I don't know, they'll probably feature her boyfriend this year. Rumors, Page 6 posted that Lenny and his girlfriend broke up. I don't know how true that is or not, but that's what we're hearing. The boob god and his fiance. Larsa, I think, is gonna be filming with Mike. Is it Michael B. Jordan? Every time I say his name, I say it wrong, and everyone corrects me, and I don't mean to roll my eyes. I just am really bad with names. That's all. I'm sorry. I'm bad with names. And he is handsome. Girl, Larsa's boyfriend is handsome. I'm just saying. It's weird, though, that he's Michael Jordan's son. Don't you guys think that now? Don't y'all think that's a little weird? He's younger than her, and he's Michael Jordan's son. You're telling me y'all families didn't travel together all the time? Like, whenever your like husband, you know, the husband, your dad and my husband were like the biggest NBA players in history at the time, but like our families just didn't know each other. We didn't hang out. Yeah, we were nope. We never saw each other. We never even met each other. What? Come on now. Don't be like that now. I always love to remind people of a video that I posted a long time ago. I should reshare it, actually. Poor Larsa. She's going to hate me this season because I always have to remind everyone that is not her ass. Okay? I have a picture every year. Like, I just got to remind everyone. This is not Larsa's ass. Okay? She got good doctors' names from the Kardashians. Okay? That's why her work looks like that. Jay Jordan's son. Yeah, I know it's the son, but what is his name? I called it, is it Michael? He's not Michael B. Jordan though, right? I also loved Adriana for a very long time, simply because of, if you guys go back again and watch some of the older episodes of The Real House of Miami, you will see nothing like that ever again. It's the most entertaining. See, I don't know why they canceled Miami. I feel like, honestly, like there's a little bit of a stigmatism there or something. Stigmatism? That's not the right word. You guys know what I mean, though. With Miami, I don't know why. I don't know why. And there's so much there with like Alexia and Marisol, and at that time Leah Black was on the show, and she was an Erica Jane to, she probably crawled so Erica Jane could walk, right? She was married to an attorney, a very, very, very rich, wealthy, powerful attorney. He was involved actually in the Jeffrey Epstein case the first time. Okay, people don't realize Jeffrey, that was not his first time incarcerated. He was incarcerated from cases in Florida prior to that, and he was his defense attorney. But nobody knew about Jeffrey Epstein back then. Nobody really knew who he was. We didn't know. Oh yeah, that's her husband. And so when Tom Girardi came out as a fraud, and all of these victims and people and widows and orphans and children who had lost all of their money, she came out in defense of Erica and said Erica probably didn't know about it. But so I didn't really care for her after that, only because I didn't really like that she was like writing it off like, oh yeah, we're just lawyers' wives, so we're not responsible for anything. We don't know anything that's going on, so she can't be held liable for anything. No, but she could return the earrings. She could not fight the victims on things. Why would you want to keep $100,000 earrings that were bought with blood money? Why would you fight that? I would be like, here you go. That's what she should do. I'm telling y'all, she's the feds. I'm telling y'all, you're going to find out she's been working with the feds. If not, she'll have an indictment coming. Receiving stolen property. What the? I don't understand. I'm just saying, she's the Fed. She's got to be working with them. Tom was indicted. Tom has a co-defendant who was indicted, who's sitting in jail right now on $1 million bond. They ruled for his competency hearing for his civil case, and now they're going to rule, why wouldn't the competency hearing rule for both cases? It's ridiculous that he has to go for that. They will literally milk the system into a competency hearing for his civil case and say, yes, he's competent for that case, but we also need to see if he's competent for his criminal case. He also mouthed the words F you to the prosecutor in the courtroom. I'm telling you guys, I'm gonna do a deep dive next Thursday. I don't know if I'm gonna do it live, because I don't know if you guys would be down with a live in the evening or late. I really can't wait for you guys to meet Mary. She's so sweet. She's on the Ivory Tower Boiler Room podcast, which is my friend Dr. Andrew. If you might notice, he's been sharing some clips back and forth. We've been sharing, and he, he's a content creator, and he's just got his doctorate, and he's very young and ambitious, and not young in a bad way, like just young to have a PhD. I mean, anyone that has a PhD, damn it, like obviously mad respect, but young to have a PhD. So I'm thankful to have met her because she's so sweet. So you guys are going to really love her. And she does all of his like crime podcast. And so we're going to talk about Tom Girardi. We're going to break it all down for you guys because I think it's important to go into the season and currently understand and know what's going on, because it's almost like they want you to be confused so that you don't actually know what's what, right? Because it's confusing. You got a whole civil case, civil being financial, right? Civil being when somebody else is coming after you, there's no jail time for civil, right? Civil is financial. Criminal is where you could have a consequence of jail time, right? So you have misdemeanor charges and you have felony charges, right? So misdemeanor charges are going to be local to your community, like your city, your jurisdiction, okay? And your indictment, which would be your felonies, would either come from your state or the federal government, right? So we did see an indictment come, and that will determine where you go to court, right? So for instance, Joe and Teresa Giudice, their case was federal. It was the federal government that was prosecuting them. So they went to federal court. And when they were, everything was, they had to go to federal prison. So there are federal prisons and there are state prisons, just like there are county jails, right? So the county jails are holding places. And then once they are sentenced, they are either transported to the state institution or the federal institution, okay? Unless if they make bond. Now, bond is very important, guys, because if you guys ever look up any statistic in your life, go look up the statistic in the ruling of somebody who goes to court dressed professionally and somebody who goes to court in orange jumpsuit and shackled. Like, it's proven that these people, that if they don't have money to get out on bond and their appearance is that of coming from jail, they receive a harsher sentence just statistically. So also his co-defendant is sitting in jail right now on $1 million bond while Tom's at the old folks home. And I know that people are like, yeah, but he's at the old folks home. Yeah, but the old folks home is like day camp compared to the county jail. Like, seriously, day camp. I would be so mad if I was literally in the county on $1 million bond while my co-defendant, Tom Girardi, is sitting in the old folks home. I would be like, you better go get that man right now. I do not drag him out of his bed. But here's the thing. The state's like, okay, well, he's old. He's probably on meds. He probably is telling them he has all this shit wrong with him, right? The county doesn't have money. They don't want to pay for it. They don't want to have to take care of his medical needs. He's going to milk them to death. He'll have them taking him out on furloughs every single day to the doctors and making up shit. You don't think that he knows how to run the system? Please. Not to mention, he has so many people in his pocket, it wouldn't even be worth putting him in an institution in California because he's bought everybody in California. And when I say everyone, I mean everyone in California. And that's why they don't want to dig too deep into Tom Girardi, because they probably have to, I don't know, burn down the entire California bar. They did apologize. Great. But they overlooked 500 different complaints on Tom Girardi. He had also bought off the investigator. Jamie says, Danielle said Melissa contacted her via Facebook. Yes, she did, girl. Facebook was the thing back then. They also exchanged emails and text messages. And one of those messages from Melissa to Danielle was like, here's my number. It's perfect timing. My husband and the kids are about to fall asleep, so I can talk. So what was Melissa doing? Plotting behind Joe's back. That's what she was doing. I posted a scene of her a while back where she was, if you guys remember, it was part of the storyline about her sisters tweeting about Teresa, and they did. Like, there's proof of it. You can't say that. Sorry, I saw the comment and I was just going to highlight this comment. So funny that you say this. I don't want to get in the middle of jumping in between stories, but reminding me that Erica's son, I had something else I told you guys I wanted to make sure I remembered, but I can't remember. He is a cop for the LAPD. If you guys don't remember, again, go back, watch your earlier episodes of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. You will see Eric and Tom have lunch and run into the chief of the LAPD, who kisses them and tells them he loves them. Erica's son, yes, LAPD. There's actually a guy who was on TikTok who was like going around policing the police, which, hey, I mean, I don't know who polices the police. I don't know. Who do they answer to? I don't, I'm just saying, like, he wasn't like individually, but like he would go into like just maybe like the downtown like court office because it's a public building, and he would like film, and they would be like, you can't film in here. And he's like, this is a public building. Why can't I film in here? And then it would be like this whole ruckus, right? And he usually came out on top, but he was filming around LAPD, and he was around their parking lot. And here comes Erica's son in an expired like 30-day tag on a Mercedes. So expired tag and way too dark tinted windows, pulling into work. And old boy on TikTok capturing it and figured out it was Erica's son And he was like, man, how is this dude like LAPD? And he's riding around allegedly with 30-day tags that are expired, and his windows are illegally tinted too dark. Like, what? What? Yeah. So he was spotted before, and clearly I'm sure I cannot even imagine. I cannot even imagine. Thank goodness they've never put him on the show, because I don't know what's gonna happen with Erica. She has lost a lot of weight for sure. I don't know what she's gonna do, to be honest. I think that she is more well taken care of than she's letting on. She lives in a home. The rent in her home is like $11,000 a month. It was set up before Tom was indicted, before any of this really happened, and the people that own the home are also lawyers, and they didn't want their names in the public. They didn't want it to be released. But they probably were bought and paid for. She probably had her rent paid for a couple of years. Tom and Erica knew what was happening, and what people don't want to recognize or people don't put together is the fact that this went boom because of COVID, because COVID shut down the courts, right? So Tom's robbing Peter to pay Paul. But if he's not getting anything in, now what? You don't have anywhere to take from. If you're not going to court, you're not working, there's nothing to take from. And that's eventually what got him caught up. It was COVID and the time that they were off. It looked like that's how close they were living, like paycheck to paycheck to paycheck to paycheck, that literally 6 weeks of not having a paycheck bankrupted him. Still speculation on the spelling manner, by the way. I can also do a whole entire, I need a whiteboard with a marker. I need a whiteboard with a marker so I can like tell you guys what I'm talking about. Give you guys my thoughts on what is going on over there, because I surely am interested, and I'm going to cover Tom's case. I cannot believe he said F you to the prosecutor in the courtroom. It tells you that he's there mentally. Jennifer Eden's house looks nice. I know it does look nice. Her house looks great. She does have great taste. She has I think she has a decorator that does some of her work, because she will like post credit to them on her page, and I think like they help with like her Christmas lights and stuff too. So definitely shout out to them. I don't know who they are offhand because I don't have my I can't get logged into this detective. I know I can't help it. It's just, in my blood. It's not great. Sometimes I don't like it. I don't always want to be a detective, but for Tom Girardi, for things like that, like that's where my advocacy like kicks in, because there are a lot of people that were affected by Tom, and I want to cover one specifically because there was these people that were into TV, and they had ran a pilot or a successful show for a year or two, and they didn't get re-signed, and they took their idea to one of the big 3-letter networks, and essentially they stole these people's idea for a TV show, and it became successful. And so they ended up retaining Tom Girardi to represent them in court. And I spoke to this victim on the phone, and this was before Erica got on the show, and she is very confident. She's a very educated woman. She's connected in Hollywood. And she is very certain that Tom basically took their case on purpose and used it as a tool to negotiate with NBC to get Erica on The Real Housewives of New Jersey. And he actually did his own clients dirty on purpose, purposely threw the case, purposely lost the case for the clients so that the network didn't have to pay anything out. And instead, all they had to do was bring Erica on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Yes, please look into it, deep dive into it. I can give you guys more information. Like I said, I'm gonna do a video and with my friend Mary from the other podcast, and I'm going to bring in some photos of their mansion, because I was always very intrigued by their mansion. It is in Pasadena. and I think it was like built in the early 1900s. I don't know how old it was, but she had like a church put in it. And I don't think Erica seems very faith-based, but she claimed she was. So, yeah. All right, guys. Well, I just wanted to hop on. I was going to give you guys 15 minutes or less, but what we talked for an hour. I hope that you guys have a great weekend. Make sure that you guys are checking out my podcast, Housewives 411. If you guys are not following on my new YouTube channel, please go over. It's like Housewife Historian, Lindsay, the Housewife Historian, Housewives 4111, 422. I don't know. Sometimes I put the wrong number in. Like, there's a number after it. And I hope you guys are checking out my podcast. Again, shout out to NYC Gal Out. Just love Lisa. Check me out. Every Wednesday we do NYC recap, and we're going to be doing Beverly Hills starting on Thursdays. I think we're getting Beverly Hills on the 1st, and then we also have BravoCon coming up, guys. So you're going to want to make sure that you guys are following my new channel, because I'm going to be putting content out there that I'm not going to be putting out elsewhere, because I need y'all to please go over there and follow, because that's the only way I can keep giving you guys free content, right? I get a lot of people that are like, my For You page has really changed on YouTube. It's like sad. Like, people are on all these like paid platforms. Yeah. So like, I love giving you guys free content. I love being on YouTube, but I need you guys to go follow my new YouTube channel so that I can continue to do that. All right, guys. I hope you have a great day, and make sure you hit that alert button, follow button, and we'll chat soon. Happy weekend.